Everybody's different. Tolerance of cold. What they find hot, what they find cold. Testing, testing, testing. Olam chesed yibaneh, yadadai, dai, dai, da-da-dai, dai. 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 I will build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, da-da-dai, dai. You must build this world from love. Yadadai, dai, dai, da-da-dai, dai. Page 2. And if we build this world from love, yadadai, dai, dai, da-da-dai, dai, then God will build this world from love, yadadai, dai, dai, da-da-dai, dai. Olam chesed yibaneh, 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 yadadai, dai, dai, da-da-dai, dai. Shabbat shalom. Welcome. Welcome to those in person. Welcome to those on YouTube. Welcome to those who are not here yet, but who are on their way, who are here in spirit. It's wonderful to be here again at the end of a long, hot week and to be able to cool off in this nice, cool sanctuary and maybe a little too cool in this beautiful sanctuary where we can leave our stress at the door, leave our troubles at the door, and just come in to be in community, in fellowship, and get in touch with ourselves, get in touch with each other, get in touch with God. Let's start our service with candle lighting. Who would like to light candles? Would everyone like to light candles together? Everybody light candles. So someone pick something to read from here, light some candles, and we'll sing the blessing together.
The first mitzvah in the Torah is Yehi Or, let there be light. So we are commanded, in everything you do, be a menorah, a bringer of light. Live with honor, act with integrity, do your work with passion, and the radiance of your deeds will live after you. May our ideals burn bright, forever unextinguished, and may we live our lives like the flames we kindle, always stretching upward, striving for the good, reaching for you.
Let's take in some of that beautiful Shabbat light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you. We turn to page 13 for Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yadai Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yadai boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nila Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nila Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yadai Baruch Hu Nila Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, melech malachei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yadai Tzedchem L'Shalom Malachei L'Shalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We turn now to our Siddur supplement, page 4 in the supplement, for Lechu Neranana, let us rejoice. That's what Lechu Neranana means. Let's sing out with joy in honor of God on this Shabbat. Lechu Neranana, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Adonai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Nahariya, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Letzur Yishenu, Yai Lai 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 Lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation, from mountain to sea, hear our song. Lechu Neranena, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Adonai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Nahariya, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Letzur Yishenu, Yai Lai 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 Lai, for all of the wonder in all of God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice. Lechu Neranena, Yai Lai 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 Lai, L'Adonai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Nahariya, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Letzur Yishenu, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai, Yai Lai 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 Lai. We now rise for Chatzi Kaddish on page 27, back in the Siddur. We will be going back to page 5 of the supplement shortly, so keep it handy. Yitgada v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, ve'amad divrach irutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon, u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, b'imiru, amen. Yehi shemei Rabba mivarach, le'alam ulam me'omaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, Brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata, V'shirata, Tushbechata, V'nechemata, Ta'amiran B'yama, V'yimeru, Amen. You may be seated. We turn to page 21 in the Siddur for Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad Hishmianu el hamiyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litihila Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat Kabila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor habaracha merosh mikedem nesucha sof ma'aseh v'machshavat tchila lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Hitorari, hitorari, kiva orech, kumi ori, uri uri, shir daberi. Kevod Adonai, alayich nigla, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat, Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola Toch emunei am segula Boi chala lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat Nekabela please remain standing if you're able. And we go to the Siddur supplement on page 5 for Am I Awake and Baruch Hu. Yadidai-dai-dai, 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 yadidai-dai-dai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Yadidai-dai-dai, 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 yadidai-dai-dai. You may be seated. We now turn to page 29 in the Siddur for Ahavat Olam, the prelude to the Shema, in which we talk of God's unending love for us, expressed through his gift of Torah, our book of guidance and wisdom to help us through life. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Havta, Amcha Havta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al Ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shogveinu v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha v'mitzvotecha le'olam v'hen ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamin. Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al medudot beitecha u'visharecha. We continue on page 31, 6 lines down, 3 words in. Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. And now, following the Shema, it is time for our song of salvation from our rescue at the Red Sea, Micha Mocha, on page 32. Please join me. Kodesh, Norata Hilo, Osefele, Norata Hilo, Osefele. Malechutecha ra'uvanecha, Bokei Yam lifnei Moshe, Ze Eli Hanu ve'amru, Ze Eli Hanu ve'amru. We go back to the Siddur supplement now, page 8 in there. We will sing Hashkivenu, our prayer asking for God's protection in the evening when we are more vulnerable. Hashkivenu V'hamideinu malkeinu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. V'hamideinu malkeinu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom. V'hamideinu malkeinu lechaim. We turn now to page 35B for the Amidah. Please rise if you're able. We will start together recalling our relationship, our common relationship with God and our ancestors, and God's powers to help. And then we turn to our private prayers from our own hearts and minds, or what's in the Siddur through page 38. Your choice. Adonai safatai tiftach ufi aki tehilatecha. Adonai safatai tiftach ufi aki tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim Ve'Konei Hakol V'zocher chastei avot, u'mevi go'el livnei v'neihem, l'ma'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'foked u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Abraham u'foked Sarah, atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei metim atah rav lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei metim berachamim rabim. Somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melech, melech meimit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah l'hachayot meitim. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hametim. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Let's conclude our Amidah with our prayer for peace, Oseh Shalom. You could find the words on page 38 at the end of the middle paragraph on the page. Oseh Shalom, Bimromah. Oseh Shalom, Bimromah. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oseh Shalom, Bimromah. Oseh Shalom, Bimromah. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. It's now the time in our service that we think of those who need our Misha Barak prayer, our prayer for healing. In the TCS community, we are thinking of Phyllis Burke, wife of Norm Burke, Pereza Budd, Rhonda Fleming's cousin's wife, Arthur Campbell, friend of Craig Barger, Tony Casella, friend of Franny Spivak, Valerie Frank, friend of Craig Barger, Jonathan Gardner, grandson of Rona Slotnick, David Glazer, son of Amy Glazer, Jake Kelly, Cheryl Leahy, sister of Mike Cohn, Nancy Meyer, sister-in-law of Joni Meyer, Tal Schechter, Albert Schechterman, stepbrother of Mary Schreiber, Michael Schreiber, son of Mary and Paul Schreiber, Cindy Sherman, daughter of Judy Romaine, Iris Sherman, daughter-in-law of Judy Romaine, Yonina Bat David HaKohen Visara, and Esther Bat Chaim Vigoldi. Would anyone like to add a name to the list? If you're in YouTube, feel free to add the name, and the spiritual energy will come through the internet into our community. Now we turn to our words of the Misha Barak prayer, which are on the inside back cover of your Siddur. We'll sing the prayer. Misha Barak Avoteinu Mikor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Let us read together on page 148 a prayer for our country. Our God and God of our ancestors, we ask your blessings for our country, for its government, for its leaders and advisors, and for all who exercise just and rightful authority. Teach them insights from your Torah, that they may administer all affairs of state fairly, that peace and security, happiness and prosperity, justice and freedom may forever abide in our midst. Creator of all flesh, bless all the inhabitants of our country with your Spirit. May citizens of all races and creeds forge a common bond in true harmony, to banish hatred and bigotry, and to safeguard the ideals and free institutions that are the pride and glory of our country. May this land, under your providence, be an influence for good throughout the world, uniting all people in peace and freedom, helping them to fulfill the vision of your prophet. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they experience war anymore. And let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Our Torah portion this week is called Parshat Balak, and it is one of the strangest portions in the Torah. It features, among other things, a non-Israelite prophet who has direct conversations with God, an intimate relationship with God, a sword-wielding angel, and a talking animal. It would make a great Pixar movie for the kids. It's a very unusual installment in the story of the Israelites' journey to the Promised Land. To recap where we are in the Torah, the Exodus from Egypt was 40 years ago. Almost all the adults from the generation of the Exodus are dead, and in their place is the next generation. All of the kingdoms they are encountering as they approach the Promised Land are hostile. The biggest one so far, Edom, has denied them passage through their land. They've recently crossed paths with 3 other kingdoms, Arad, Amor, and Bashan, and wiped them all out. This generation is a generation of fighters, unlike their parents. Now they are approaching the kingdom of Midian and Moab. And understandably, the leaders of those kingdoms are alarmed. The king of Moab, Balak, who gives this parsha its name, decides to try a different approach. Since the other kingdoms that just straight up fought the Israelites were all defeated, he wants a supernatural edge before he engages in battle. So he hires a non-Israelite prophet called Bilam, about whom he says, I know that he whom you bless is blessed, indeed, and he whom you curse is cursed. And he hires them to put one of those curses on the Israelites. In some ways it's strange, in some ways it's not. So far, people always want an edge. And some want a supernatural edge, even today. Think of voodoo dolls. That's a supernatural edge. Or consulting the astrologer, like Ronald Reagan used to do before making presidential decisions. That's looking for a supernatural edge. But what happens next is unprecedented in the Torah and the rest of the Hebrew scriptures, the prophets and the writings. Bilam, this non-Israelite prophet, when asked by Balak to put a curse on the Israelites, says, I don't know if I can do it. I need to ask God. And in saying he's going to ask God, he uses Yud-He-Vav-He, the name of the Israelite God that he needs to ask. And God answers him directly. He talks directly to him, and he tells him to refuse, to say, I can't do this. And that's what Bilam does. So here we have a pagan prophet who has a personal, conversational relationship with the Israelite God, such as we've seen only in the cases of Noah, Abraham, Jacob, and Moses. Those are the only ones. As you might imagine, rabbinic commentators have been very, very troubled by this. As we'll see, even the Torah itself in the text has problems with this. King Balak is not happy with Bilam's refusal. And so he tries again by sending more dignitaries and a better offer, more gifts. Bilam again says he needs to inquire God's will, and this time God gives him a different answer, telling him to go with them, but that whatever God commands him, he will do, to only speak God's words. The next morning, Bilam saddles his ass and departs with the Moabite dignitaries. The Torah says something that seems not to make sense here. It says that God was furious with Balaam for going, which God just said that he should go. So why is God angry? Commentators have wrestled with this inconsistency for generations. Here are a couple of the things that they say. That God is angry because Balaam did not tell the dignitaries that God gave him permission to go with only the condition that he follow God's instructions. As a result, he misled them into thinking that he would curse the people, the Israelites. Another possibility is that he went with them with the hope that God would give him permission to curse the Israelites, since that's what he would be paid for. So God expresses this anger in the form of an adversarial angel with a drawn sword blocking the road on which the Balaam is traveling with this group of dignitaries. In a comic turn, the angel is invisible to Balaam, but the ass that he's riding on can see the angel. And so the ass keeps swerving to avoid this angel with the sword, and Balaam does not know what's going on, and he's getting increasingly furious with the ass, including, they're apparently going against, a rock formation, and the ass goes sort of into the rock formation, smashing Balaam's foot. And Balaam is yelling at the animal, beating the animal with a stick. Not very pretty scene. And finally, the Torah says that God opened the ass's mouth, and the ass asked Balaam, "Why are you beating me? I'm avoiding this angel. I'm saving your life." By the way, I can only think of one other talking animal in the Torah. Anybody know what that is? It will be obvious to you when... What? Yes! Thank you, Emeris. Bravo. The snake in the Garden of Eden. The only one, there might be another, but I could not think or find one. It's not a trick question. Good going. Good going. All right, so after the ass opens its mouth and talks to Balaam, then Balaam can see the angel. He's terrified. He offers to turn back, but the angel says, "No, you could go, but just remember your promise to say nothing except what God instructs you, or what God through me, the angel, tells you to say." When Balaam gets to Balak, they set up camp at the place where they could see the Israelite encampment from a distance. They're sort of on a height looking down. And they set up 7 altars for sacrifices. This would be to get God in a good mood for doing their will. That's what often sacrifices are for. Each time they try to curse the Israelites, blessings come out of Balaam's mouth instead. And in these beautiful blessings are some words that most of us are probably familiar with. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. How good are your tents, people of Jacob, your dwellings, people of Israel. Those are the words of a prayer, the opening of a prayer. The rabbis took that verse and used it in a prayer that is one of the openings to the morning service. Every bar bat mitzvah kid starts their service singing those words, as we know this tune, most of us. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Now, it's noteworthy that these beautiful words come out of the mouth of a pagan prophet who sets out to curse Israel. And the rabbis choose those words. Perhaps the Torah is telling us that inspiration is a gift from God that can come to anyone, Jew or not. Here are a few other possible explanations for why the rabbis chose them. First of all, let's not ignore the obvious. they are such beautiful words of compliment to Israel and Jewish community and our peoplehood. Second of all, when we are entering the sanctuary, we want to be appreciative of what we have physically, our physical space. And those are words that express appreciation for the physical spaces that we have. Let's come back to this peculiarity, though, that they're from the mouth of a prophet who is hired to curse the Israelites. I think there is something there. Perhaps there's a parallel between Bilam's transformation from hired to curse to God's mouthpiece to bless, and our own need to transform ourselves when we enter the temple. Maybe outside there we have stress, we have negative energy, we have worries, we have anger, we have all kinds of things that are troubling us and negativity. And when we come into the temple, we either need to transform, or we need transformation to happen to us so that we can be here with positive energy and love and joy for each other and for ourselves and for God. Finally, I don't think it was likely that it was in the rabbis' minds when they selected this quotation for prayer, but in our day, it's such a lovely reflection of our own community as we see that inspiration to be part of our community and to serve our community comes to all of us, regardless of whether or not we're Jewish. So in closing, I would like to offer a blessing to us that we have that transformation, that whatever negative energy and stress and anger and worry we have is transformed to love, hope, faith, and joy. Shabbat Shalom. Let's continue in the Siddur on page 51 with Aleinu. Please rise if you're able. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. We now recall the loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died in this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Our hearts go out to Ben and Denise Kravitz. Their son, Christopher David Betts, was laid to rest this past week. And our congregational family remembers with special affection our loved ones whose Yahrzeit will occur this coming week. Ruth Jelinek, grandmother of David Jelinek. Charlotte Bloom, mother-in-law of Maxine Bloom. Claire Bash Barger, mother of Craig Barger. Sam Waxman, father of Becky Braidman. Mildred Kaczynski, mother of Philip Kaczynski. If you're remembering someone we have not named this evening, we invite you to say that person's name aloud now. Zichronam livracha. May the memory of all our dear ones be a blessing. If you are saying Kaddish in someone's memory tonight, we ask you to rise now. In loving support of the mourners, we rise as a congregation. In gratitude to God for the gift of the lives of their loved ones, those who are in mourning and those remembering someone, say Kaddish on page 52. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudshah barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. You may be seated. I'd like to invite up, who's going to do announcements? Craig Barger, our congregational president, to do some announcements.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to TCS, where we value innovating education, building community, honoring individuality, drawing meaning from Judaism, and upholding our social responsibility. All our programming, including the ones I will mention today, reflect these values. Tomorrow, no Saturday morning Torah study until August 20th. Hafdalah service at 7 p.m. You in charge, Ruth? Beautiful, beautiful. Family Table is sponsored by the Jewish Family Services. Its mission is to alleviate hunger in our community in a way that meets nutritional and spiritual needs. Our temple is committed to collecting 30 cans of tuna fish and 30 cans of low-sodium vegetable soup each month. Please remember to bring your cans when you come to the temple. There's a wooden container in the foyer for your canned goods. Remember, information and links to all activities are included in your weekly emails on Mondays, as well as special notices. I don't think we need to remember to return our name badges because we don't have any on, so Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thanks, Craig. Our closing song is Adon Olam on page 54. Adon Olam, אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נעשה בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשילו להכבירה בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמשרה ולא העוז והמשרה והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי בעת צרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא מנת כוסי ביום אקרא בידו אפקיד רוחי בעת נשען ואירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא אדוני לי ולא אירא. Shabbat Shalom. We will have Kiddush and Motzi out in the foyer, and we'll connect with our friends on YouTube, on Zoom. So let's go out there.